A little quickie, folks. Hope you're doing well. I was thinking real quick. I went on a bike ride yesterday because the weather was so good and was talking about some things I want to get into more, but it's just very difficult when you're talking off the cuff to cover everything and make clear what I really think about certain people's opinions in detail. That's probably better left to writing something, but who has time for that? I do write stuff, but God, there's so much out there to read. Anyway, I was thinking about, uh, these weapons platforms that are being tested in Gaza and Ukraine and other parts of the world, in Africa and elsewhere. Uh, Robotic, uh, lots of software involved, AI, um, drones, remote controlled, and so on. Uh, we invest a lot in that, obviously. I think the global GDP of military spending isn't really that much, maybe around 1% in total. But it's still a lot when you think about it. And of course, that GDP, it's an economic measure. So, economists think of the world in a certain way, and other experts look at it differently. But whatever. I think a lot of economists think we should be spending between, I think, 1 to 3% of global GDP on the problems associated with global heating and climate change, carbon sequestration, uh, some way to reflect sunlight back out into outer space because we're losing our ice. So a blue ocean event will probably occur sometime in coming years, very quickly, which means the Earth will absorb a lot more of the sun's heat and reflect a lot less of the sun's heat away from Earth. Not to mention the methane coming from the permafrost and so on and so forth. Anyway, there's a lot of things associated with the quote unquote Anthropocene. Well, just this period of time where very rapidly the quantity and magnitude and um, the time frame where things really shifted really fast. It starts, in the 19th century, and there's a big uptick. So this is a thing, and it's going to continue for a long time, and eventually, hundreds of thousands or millions of years from now, there'll be, sediments layers in the rock, whatever, with e-waste, and people can call it a geological epoch if there are any people left. But anyway, what I was thinking about was we spend so much time and money and energy and resources and genius, brilliance, figuring out how to kill each other and scaring the hell out of each other. Uh, those people over there aren't human. They're stupid. Uh, you know, you can't compete with them. You got to destroy them. Uh, we have this kind of default way of doing things that's very chimp-like. And it's kind of sad because we spend so much time and energy on it. And if we could just divert, let's say, 0.5% away from that and put it towards more positive things like peacemaking and just preparing ourselves for a very different world, different climate, different ecosystem, different growing regions, different ways to feed ourselves, and so on. Because we're up against this now, and it's only gonna get more challenging next year and the year after that and the year after that. So it would be nice if we prepared, but we don't. We want everything we have. We don't want to give up anything, and we're pretty much set in our ways. We have our habits, and nudging us out of them is going to be almost impossible, but not totally impossible. Um, so, you know, why can't we spend money on carbon sequestration and other things? You know what I mean? Um, why can't we just print money to create third generation nuclear power plants or whatever? And then why can't we understand how important wild nature is to our species? Anyway, it's very hard. I post a lot of stuff on Globe Hackers Facebook about this if you're interested in looking at other podcasts and video creators and articles and stuff that look at these things. I just like to see us spend 3% of GDP solving our problems rather than creating more problems. Okay, Bully MT out.